In this video I will tell you about top 10 awkward families you won't believe exist. If you like the video, subscribe my channel. At number 10. Pablo Escobar's family. Some would rush to say that Pablo Escobar's family was cursed. But that would be an easy way of putting it. Not only they lost all the money Pablo had, some estimate wealth that peaked at $25 billion, but they had to run away from Colombia following Escobar's death in 1993. The wife, son, and daughter of Pablo Escobar moved to Argentina in the hope of starting a new life there. Of the three, the most notable acts came from son Juan Pablo Escobar. Juan came forward and took the heat for being Pablo Escobar's son. He even released a documentary called Sins of My Father. Juan's approach was one of dialogue and reconciliation, and he apologized to his father's victims and the whole Colombia. At number 9. The Manson Commune. Charles Manson commanded his family members to commit a series of killings that made him an emblem of insanity and violence. The most notable victim of the murder spree that spread across 5 weeks in 1969 was actress Sharon Tate, wife of renewed director Roman Polanski. The cult members have killed a total of 9 people before authorities stepped in. If you wonder what kind of followers would go as far as killing someone, just take a look at the pic below. Susan Atkins, Linda Kasabian, and Patricia Krenwinkel were 3 lovely young ladies that resorted to brutal methods. And all because their spiritual father Charles Manson instructed them so. The psychopath became so famous it inspired band names like Marilyn Manson. At number 8. The Lioness Family. The next family was completely unaware of the risks involved in keeping an adult lion around the house. Hollywood makes ordinary life seem dull. That's when actress Tippi Hedren decided to bring a taste of wild Africa in her impressive LA estate. However, we will focus on the daughter, seen here just inches away from having her flesh ripped from the leg. Golden Globe winner Melanie Griffith was 14 at a time and completely unaware of the risk involved. Just take a look at the pic below. The father, Hollywood agent Noel Marshall, had a real hard time doing any work when Neil was not in a good mood. Although it looks stuffed, the animal is as real as it gets. At number 7. Whatever mother says. Don't let your children read this story. They might grow suspicious on you. Teresa Noor is a name that marked one of the most horrible chapters in criminology. Not only that he tortured and killed 2 of her 6 children, but she also used the others to cover the acts. Noor murdered her first child, Susan, convinced that the 18-year-old became a witch that throws spells to make her fat. The mother used 2 of her sons as accomplices. The second victim was the other daughter, Sheila. The boys obeyed their mother again and disposed of the body. Noor was eventually caught and sentenced to life in prison. What she left behind was a family in ruins and children having a hard time confronting their past. At number 6. Man married 39 wives. When religion allows it, men are not shy to admit their polygamous instincts. Ziana Chana is one Indian that has a hard time keeping track of the 39 wives, 94 children, and 33 grandchildren, all sharing a single house. There are no words to describe this large family that might one day take over the world. The 66-year-old is not shy about admitting he is still open to adding another woman to his impressive collection. Of course, the lucky one would have to share a single bedroom with the rest of the wives. We tried in vain to come up with a plausible explanation for building such a vast family. By the looks of it, they are far from living in luxury. Someone should stop this man before it becomes the future common biological ancestor of all humanity. At number 5. Too weird, even for the internet. Some dismissed the story as a fake. What a grandmother and her grandson did was too weird, even for the internet. Let's get down to facts, shall we? When 72-year Pearl Carter and 26-year-old Phil Bailey admitted their love to each other, it was a bit too late for the lovely old lady to get pregnant. The story doesn't end there. The grandson went the extra mile and paid for a donor's egg and for a surrogate mother to have the baby. You might say that there is nothing to see here, just a weird twist of feelings across a 2 generations gap. We have a different opinion on that. At number 4. The Bloodiest Family Feud. Even if you are not an American, the names Hatfield and McCoy probably reached you in one of the many ways popular culture chose to remember the feud. The dispute at the borderline of West Virginia and Kentucky was somehow fueled by unresolved issues of the American Civil War. It's still unclear what started it all, but the feud survived as long as there was a thirst for revenge. The strife between the Hatfield and the McCoy evolved into an intricate plot where intermarrying and even switching sides augmented the hate. A total of 12 members died, and many were injured or jailed. At number 3. The Duggar Family. Having 19 children all with names starting with J seems like a logistical nightmare. Not for the Douglas family. For parents Jim, Bob and Michelle, it was God who decided the number. As you probably guessed, the two are against contraceptive measures. The Douglas family became so famous it ended up on the small screens. TLC's 19 Kids and Counting offered curious minds a peek at one of the weirdest families of recent history. We can't highlight enough the negative impact of turning families like the Douglas into celebs. At number 2. Outlaw Family. The days of the Wild West might be gone, but outlaws still exist. Give a family enough guns and a weird sense of justice, and they would keep anyone away. You could call the Gray family farm in Texas an enclave on American soil, living according to its own laws and completely ignoring the authorities. It all started when patriarch John Joe Gray resisted arrest after a 1999 felony. The largest standoff in American history lasted until 2016 when the charges were eventually dropped. In the meantime, the Grays resorted to a primitive lifestyle that culminated with them being completely cut off and independent from the outside world. At number 1. Shamed teacher loves student. When it comes to inappropriate relationships, nothing beats classroom romance. However, the case of Mary Kate Letourneau and Vili Fuala, her 12-year-old student, pushed the envelope. Letourneau spent 7 years behind bars for doing something entirely inappropriate. Obviously, some saw in what she did a manifestation of genuine love. Upon release, Mary Kate went on to marry Vili, as their relationship now met all the legal requirements. You will be happy to know they are still together and have 2 daughters. Both were conceived while Vili was underage. If you have any suggestion, please leave it in the comment. If you like the video and subscribe my channel because we upload new videos on top 10 videos.